All right. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday again, May 27th. We are on the 67th episode of Live with JMD and Cyril. Now, the description is a little vague, or maybe it's not. But as I said, this could be the last dual, or I should say, cross platform live stream. I'm going to be going weekly until episode 70, and then I'm going to be going down to a monthly stream starting in July. So episode 70 should be the same weekend the same week I'm going to Heroes in North Carolina. So that's like mid-June. But then, yeah, either episode 70 or if StreamYard locks me out of the remaining weeks of my account, this could be the last YouTube and Facebook Live together, just because, again, I don't have, not going to be putting up the money for the extra subscription time. So, make sure if you watch on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, you subscribe over on YouTube. But again, I'll still be doing these weekly through episode 70, and then I'm going to be going back to a monthly schedule, or going down to a monthly schedule, just because it's really intense with the weekly shows. Weekly like conventions, and then weekly doing whatnot, and weekly doing this. It's just three things all at once during the week. It's a little hard. It is a little hard, and I need to take some of my time back. But anyway, yeah. Not all. Well, actually, let me leave that up for a little bit. Not all bad news, or what I wouldn't say bad news, but like not sure what would you call it, Cirilla. Unfortunate news, disappointing news. I don't know. Year's going pretty good otherwise. Geekdom Con was pretty good. A little light this year in some regards, but I already rebooked for next year. So that gives me next year already. I'll be doing Page, Philadelphia area gaming expo in January, and then in May I'll be doing the Geekdom Con and Fan Expo Philly again. So, and I'm sure I'll be back at both Monster Manias in August and September and March. But the ones that are confirmed already for next year are those three. So 2 in Pennsylvania. No, all 3 are in Pennsylvania. That's right, because Paige is also at the Greater Philadelphia Area Expo Center. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Anywho, this week I'm doing a few other new things, or I'm getting a little bit more organized with some back projects. So I'm trying to get those done so I can get back to writing books and comics and putting Chatiana out and everything. But it is causing me to have to stop production on some other stuff for this week just to get some organization going. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to get all these sketch covers done for Heroes Con. Still creating new ideas for prints, and taking on some commissions and freelance work too. So yeah, it's a busy time. We're not even halfway through 2025 yet. But anyway, what do you think, Cirilla? Can we get to the sketch covers? I started working on these during the let's switch it up there. Oh, and of course she gets right in the way just at that very moment. I started working on these during the Whatnot streams the other day, and Cirilla's right in the way. So yeah, I have some sketch covers I'm working on just to have some other OA to sell at some of these shows, and especially Heroes, since it is a art heavy show. I want to make sure when they go to North Carolina, I've got some options down there for them. All right. Who's been on this so far? I don't know. I can't say. Brian and David. Oh, okay, cool. Nice guys. Thanks for stopping by for a minute. All right, so yeah, let's get to it. What do you think, Cyrilla? Anyway, the one that's the most complete is this X-Men Wolverine and the X-Men here, but I also got a Gunslinger Spawn going. Of course, it's on a black cover. All right. And then I have a deceased Batman, which is kind of looking vampire-y too, and a little skeletal. I might do this as an acrylic painting. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see how it works. I have some other ones too. I want to get some of the superhero things done first just because of Heroes coming up, and then I can work on some of the more obscure things. But also in the mix is a Spawn that I have out of the superhero stuff, a Doctor Strange, and a not quite superhero-y Shadow Year One. And I also cannot wait to get to this Black Ghost Rider because that's going to be a lot of fun to do. Anyway, what do you think, Real? Can I work on the X-Men piece first? Or are you going to give me the time to do that? You're going to give me the space to do it? This should be too much. Should be too much. Did I leave all those? I did. I left all of the markers in a different spot, Sarah. You always think I'm talking to you during these streams, too. Anyway, let's see what we can do with these nice little looks like it could be a good one. We have another yeah, what's up, really? Yeah, salmon pink is more of a, I mean, that's not salmon pink, that's that one's fruit pink. Well, that's kind of the same. All right, what do we got? Maybe Cosmos, pale pink. The thing is, they don't always give you a very clear idea of what these colors are on the caps, you know. Let's try pale pink. What do you think? Pale pink? That's still a little dark. Getting light. Oh, man. Some of these colors, man, they do not look the way they're supposed to. Okay, we finally got a little bit of a reprieve from the cat. Yeah. All right. I have to spray these with all sorts of fixative and everything. It's just sketch covers are not really super. What's pale pink like? Let's try pale pink. Jeez, that's even dark. You just do not have a good what was that? Pastel pink? Trying to find a good color for oh, light pink, yeah. All right, it's gotta be this one. Anyway, yeah. Starting with Mr. Scott Summers over there. Those inks have had like a whole week to dry, so they should pretty much stay where I'm putting them. I hope. It's just amazing how much bleed and everything happens on these. Mm. Mm. Still gonna do my best with them. Mm. 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 What's funny is when I'm drawing this thing, because I'm such a gamer in general, I have like one of Wolverine's themes from, I think it's Street Fighter versus X-Men versus Street Fighter in my head. Could be. I don't know. They always were changing Wolverine's theme, but I think that's the one with the really good theme for him. I feel like Cyclops kept a consistent theme from game to game. But for whatever reason, good old Logan here did not. And of course, I'm doing whatchamacallit. I'm going to be doing brown suit Logan here, or brown suit Wolverine. I don't know. I just like the orange and brown suit, honestly. I mean, the yellow and blue is good too, but that's going to have to get something in it. I'm just kind of mixing different time periods because I'm pretty sure I'm going to make that Phoenix Jean Grey as well. Superhero stuff? Yeah, extremely rare for me. Extremely rare. Okay, so what do I need? I think it's white skin. I think white skin was the one I wanted for. Was it peach? Peach is better for Logan. Salmon pink? That might be the one I wanted. Yeah, okay. Salmon pink. For good old Scott over here. And I'll do the same thing for Jean Grey's face back there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sounds gonna be kind of brown and gold, huh? Mm-hmm. I just find it amazing that letting all that sit, all these inks sit for a week and they're still going to smudge a little bit with these markers. I might have to tackle some of these other sketch covers a little different, but that's okay. Still working out just fine here, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. What is dark yellow? Not quite the right color. Okay, that's what. Okay, how about yellow? Oh, okay. This is one of the ones that completely dried out on me, didn't it? Yes. All right. It's going to go in the trash bin. Marigolds. Marigolds? Yeah, a little too orange, right? Because it really is like brown and yellow. Let's just try straight yellow then. See, that looks a little bit less gold than I want. No, I guess it's the right color. Wait, what did we have there? The gloves are brown. The top is black. All the rest is red. And okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Doom, 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 doom. Okay, let's see. That one's looking a little rough. Little rough. That one too. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's try burnt sienna, maybe. Oh yeah, that's actually a really nice brown. Will it make it? I don't know. I put some brown in here. I feel like this one could take the whole stream just to get it done. It's funny. Not even really warmed up today because I was taking care of other stuff. So for today, this is the first time I sat down to draw anything. Well, not draw, but work on any artwork. Maybe I should just have that a little bit higher. That might work better. Do, do, do. Yeah, no. Okay. Now what I'm wondering is, what if I throw some extra broad bits in there? It's funny the different texture that'll do. But that does add to it. I think I want to go with a warm gray. It just makes the most sense for this. Oh, I bet you I messed that up, didn't I? Yep. Part's supposed to be yellow, like the top. It's all right. I can fix it like that. That's how your marker work is. Not always the most smooth. Hey, Sorella, you're back again. How are you? How are you, lady? Thanks, Tom. Doing my best with it here. I got layers on top of layers to go, but oh, real. You're blocking everybody's view. You're blocking people's view. What's up? Hang on. I had forgot to bring a couple more of my colors over here. Just hang on a second. Because they don't seem to be in the spot I wanted them to be. Here they are. Although I still think what I actually need is it going to be the deep red or the germanium? I think that's the deep red. I might be putting the germanium on there too. tell you, these really do eat up a lot of the the whatchamacallit things that are on there. What is the old red looking like? Oof. Also pretty good for some Logan's setup here. Okay. Instead of burnt sienna, I think we're going to go with natural oak back here. Now we got a lot of yellow in this. Okay, which is fine. Again, doing a lot of these sketch covers for heroes, but it doesn't mean they can't be picked up before then. If anybody ever sees them and wants to grab one. Okay. Sorry. Salmon pink was kind of what I was getting in here. Nope. It was, I believe, light pink. What is this? Driven green? Almost perfect. Grass green. I wonder. I guess, yeah, might be better to keep it over there. Yeah, this one looks like it's just about dead too. Royal blue, maybe. Oh my God, really? It's a good thing I had recently bought some new. That probably is right, but a little dark. All right, we'll have to use it as another one. I think that baby blue is going to be a little bit dark though. What's brilliant blue looking like? Probably also dead. Looks like it is. Yeah, there we go. That's going to have to be in the lower parts though. That was this one. Okay. Be a little better. Oh my God. Sorry. What do we got here? Cyclops and Wolverine. Who is the drawing? What have I won? Sorry, Rob. I don't mean to get you all worked up. I'm doing some stuff so that maybe I can sell them at Heroes. I have a bunch of non-comic non-superhero sketch covers too, but I figured I was going to start with the superhero stuff. Try to get those done. So, you know, it's it's one of many that I'll be working on in the lead up to going to North Carolina. Okay. Really need a good orange. Hopefully orange. Oh my God, really? Oh. All right. I have a plan. But it is going to involve having a lighter some of this stuff. Fresh green does not sound like a good idea. Marigold, yeah, that's much better. Also very good for this too. Hey Jim, how are you? Just let you know I did the thing today, at the bank part of it. So probably Thursday it'll get in the mail. Because I got my whatnot tomorrow, and I'll probably have some other stuff to send out with it. So, but it'll get there, I promise. Yeah, of course. You're welcome, though. I just, I was enjoying my weekend. Well, I had the show on the weekend, and then I just wanted to enjoy my Memorial Day a little bit. And the banks weren't open. But anyway, I hope everybody else who is watching now or later had a good Memorial Day weekend. Or at least celebrated it in the way of their choosing. Or not. It still could be a good weekend regardless. And Rob, if you're still here, even though you might be shocked by the subject matter, I promise I'm not like doing a full-fledged dive into superheroes. I've had some of these sketch covers just sitting, and I tried to buy sketch covers at least for if it was superhero stuff, it was superheroes that I would enjoy drawing. Because I mean, I have a Doctor Strange and a Spawn and a Ghost Rider in there too. So, but like a lot of the kids in the 90s, I grew up going through my X-Men phase, and Wolverine was at least my favorite X-Men character. So I figured it was fair to go for this one. But yeah, I mean, even the deceased with the Batman, he's looking pretty horror related. I'll probably do something weird with the Doctor Strange cover, but it's worth every once in a while showing I can do superheroes as well. I mean, I might not be what people might consider an artist with a house style, and I would agree, but doesn't mean I can't do these well. I'm just not going to be doing any superhero prints anymore. Actually, my Batman print sold out, so I just got like 2 Ghost Riders left, and like Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider 2099, those 2. I just have a couple of those left. And Battle Chasers, because unfortunately, not a lot of people seem to recognize Battle Chasers. Tragic, because that's not a superhero book. That's fantasy, which I enjoy quite a bit. Oh man, that's dry as a bone. I don't know what was the deal with some of these markers. They just really went quick. But I've been replacing them with individual purchases of colors that I want. Just for the occasional in-show commission or sketch cover job. Mm-hmm. Okay. I do have to put them in some sort of background. I just never figured that out. It was kind of like sitting there as a vague thing. But I think I figured how I'm going to do it. This may seem unorthodox at the moment, but sometimes you guys got to trust me. And I got to trust myself because I honestly am just doing this as I go, figuring some of it out. But I have a plan. I just don't know if it's going to work to my liking until we're done with it. If you ever do the Max and Mr. Miracle, you know what though? I would totally do a Max sketch cover, and I haven't seen any. At least when I've been searching for sketch covers, like I posted them all online a while ago, and nobody took up commission offers on them. So I said that I would decorate them if that didn't happen. But just to give you an idea, at the beginning, I showed there was the deceased and the gunslinger Spawn, which I have drawn. Regular Spawn, Doctor Strange, the Shadow, Ghost Rider, X-Men, and Wolverine and the X-Men is probably like the most superhero one I have. But I mean, when we start getting deeper, right? I got like Niobe, which I have read, and it's very good. Vampire Hunter D. My friend, his thing, Biff Stone Monster Hunter. But I have like 2 of the horror comics, right? What do I got? The Mummy, Van Helsing, and the Werewolf. I have no idea. I just think it'll be cool to draw on. Dark Tales. All right. And then what else is over there? Oh, do I have the other ones in here? I do, right? What is it? Gobblers from Stephen Carey and Vampirella and Red Sonja. These 2 at least are probably going to be risque covers, as well as the Deja of Mars. I have another Red Sonja. And then I have 2 of the tragedy books. So yeah, I'm just going through. I do have blanks for the original, the first and original Chadiana #1, which got rebranded to Zero when I went with Rosarium. And then I have a Gentleman Cthulhu #1 too, that's undecorated. So, I have some other Steel Blue. So I do have other sketch covers that are not superheroes or are more obscure superheroes. I just decided that I was going to work my way back, start with the stuff that's the least like my own work or like the least obscure, and then move into most obscure and more horror like, because I don't know that I'll fill them all in before Heroes or not. It's going to be a good It's a challenge, and it's a good question if I'll be able to achieve it or not. I'll tell you what, Rob, if you are ever in a comic shop, though, even if you're not going to get it, like for yourself as a commission, if you come across or anybody comes across a blank Max, I will totally get that. Just, don't grab something that's like $30. If it's in like what are they normally, 5 to 10? I guess sometimes you can find some people sell blanks for 15, but yeah, if you find it in that range, I'll totally take it off anybody's hands. If you find a Max. Mr. Miracle, that's a good question. I'm not as familiar. Let's look him up. Oh yeah, I do know who that is. Yeah, I've never seen any blanks for him either. But, there you go. Let's see who's been over here right now. Michelle, Chat, Mike, Dave, Tom, Sailor Poland, Dave Dude, Blake, and who was the first one anyway? Brian. I appreciate everyone who's dropped by. Again, just reminding everyone too, because I'm going to do the a couple times. This could be the last time I'm on Facebook Live at the same time I'm on YouTube Live, just because StreamYard has gone up in price and my year's subscription that was paid in advance is coming to an end. And I'm not going for the price hike. So, subscribe to my channel over on YouTube. I'll be doing them once a month, though, after episode 70. So there's still a couple more episodes. And if the StreamYard subscription still lets me have access to it, because I want to make sure I don't get charged. And I forget if I started it in June or July, so I'm going to be canceling it after this one, if I still have access. Through episode 70, I'll still push it out to Facebook. Don't worry about that. But, just in case, you want to make sure you don't miss out. Go subscribe. That's where I'll be. So what was I trying to do with this? I don't even remember. I was making like a nondescript kind of danger room, almost floor here. Right, Cirilla? Just something that kind of resembles rubble, but in more of an abstract way. Should move that up a bit. All right, what do we got there? Medusa and Lockjaw of the Humans. I would totally do it. Actually, speaking of Medusa, not the superhero one. When I start rolling out more of the dark fantasy stuff, there is a possibility I'll do some artworks in the mythology genres. I just haven't decided. A lot of people have asked for like a Medusa piece of artwork. The thing is, like, I'm trying to limit how many print designs I'm doing at this point because I feel like I'm maxed out. I have to like sell out of more. I just sold out of my last 2 of my Frankenstein's monster ones, which were book accurate Frankenstein's monster, not the universal version. And I'm down to my last 2 fishmen. The Plague Doctor is going to stay in print for a long time, though, because he just or she, really, the mask is on, how do you know? That one in particular, and a lot of the Nosferatu ones just sell well. It's harder for me to sell, like, the true IP fan art, and I don't like doing it anyway. It's Still feels like theft, and technically it really is. But yeah, doing these one-offs, I don't mind. And again, supposedly Heroes convention is a art purchaser heavy convention, so I want to give myself the best chances of success over there for whatever that's worth. Oh yeah, that's right. This one's got an even better tip. I didn't spring for, and that might be a mistake, I don't know, but I didn't spring for the Copics just because they're still a little pricey. And I saw that Blick has their own brand. I gotta be honest, like anything I've bought Blick brand, at least for me, has turned out to be good. I know some people haven't liked all their stuff, but their watercolor paper is good. And I'm picky. I don't just use any watercolor paper. I've become a paper snob over the years, especially with what I put my watercolors on. Hence why I won't do watercolors on sketch covers, because they don't friggin' work really well at all. Okay, I need some darker values. Can we do that? I didn't buy a lot of dark, like the Blick ones I bought were not generally dark because I felt like I wanted to stick to lighter. Oh yeah, that's that's why. A lot of the ones out of this set are like so damn like vibrant and deep. It doesn't necessarily help me when doing these. What do we got? You just check secondary market. Max cover blank is 80 to 130. You know what? Those people. I have a phrase, and I'm trying not to push it. I have a phrase that also has a, what do you call that? It has a known abbreviated letter set too, but I'm just not going to say it. But they can suck an egg. That's what it is, let's just say that. I'm not paying that much for a sketch cover. That's ridiculous. Those are people trying to rip others off in the market. It's the people that will turn around and sell a $30 blank Max sketch cover for that much money that are the reason why artists are out there and writers charging for signatures. Because there's that whole market of people that just buy and flip it. It's like the housing market, guys. How's that working for it? No, I'm just joking. I'm not joking, but I'm, doesn't get my goat that much. Anyway, but yeah, don't do it, Rob. It's not worth the 80 to 130 to me. If you really want a Max sketch cover by me, then I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. Except I'm going to advise you not to get one of those, but, yeah, I wouldn't pay that much for a sketch cover. That's just redunculous. What do we got? Housing prices are up on average by 143%. Now I know the prices are up. Income's down though. That's what I'm saying about people like turning around and flipping things for profit. I have a couple of friends that are looking to get a house. I won't say names, but they keep getting outbid by people that are just house flipping. So all that's going to do is drive up the price, and it's barely affordable as it is. You know, that's all I'm saying about the, you know, what a collector's market can do is similar to, yeah, what happens with the housing market. It's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming and listening, everyone. I swear, because I'm working in markers, there might be more colors on Cyclops than I would ever do on him if I were using a different medium. Maybe not if it was acrylics. I don't know. That's hard to say, but it looks cool. Maybe. I don't know. I think it does. It's my artwork anyway. Ooh. I feel like that. One comment about collector's market and the housing market, and I suddenly got really salty. Not really salty, but yeah, no. Anyway. Yeah, by the way, Rob, I was writing out a Patreon update for you guys today, and then it turned out to be like 1,000 words, you know, like a short story, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not putting these guys through this, so I'm trying to make it more succinct, and then so I'll probably post tomorrow. But I was just relaxing on Memorial Day, so I didn't do the Patreon update then. But I'm really going to do my best to keep up with those updates and not be self-conscious when I don't have much to say. In fact, that might be to my benefit to sometimes not have much to say, because I do get a bit wordy sometimes, as you guys know. What is going on, JM? Purples and yellows and grays and, well, you know, lot going on there. But, you know, I think that when you lay your color like that, it really looks good. Again, IMHO. IMHO in my home, yeah. But we'll see. You know, maybe the market doesn't agree. Actually, I'm sure. I've gotten pretty confident that there are people out there that do like my work. Even when I'm making superheroes look a bit different. Yeah, I swear. Good old Cyclops over here. Scott's barely got his regular colors. He's just got like a little bit of that blue and yellow going on. He's got so much else happening. I don't even know. Oh, thanks, Rob. I do appreciate that. No, I know. I always feel like sometimes I feel like I'm a bit too strange for the mainstream stuff as far as like my art goes. Like, but that's why I think like I'll probably do I think my stuff will adapt to say the Doctor Strange cover really well. And I know that Ghost Rider is going to come out good because I'm going to be painting fire on it, which is one of my absolute favorite things to paint. Fun fact, although I've probably said it multiple times, so I don't know how fun it is anymore, but part of the reason I decided to go with fire iconography and themes around Chadiana was because I really do like to paint fire, and I think I'm pretty decent at it. So I was like, well, that makes sense. Also, despite my own interest in the culture, my use of colors certainly made me think, you know what, I could totally do a book that's based on South Asian cultures because color is definitely something I associated with them, the cultures, that is. What do we got? What if somebody wanted a blank heavy metal sketch cover? I'm not sure. Oh, if you had a blank heavy metal sketch cover, Dwayne, first of all, did I order any of those from that Kickstarter? If I didn't, I am a dumb, dumb fool for not doing that. Secondly, you do. So, like I said, I'm very jealous of you. First of all, I might have blanks coming in the mail with, I don't know. I didn't get that book though. I'm sure it came out at this point because I did back the new Kickstarter. But if you had a blank heavy metal sketch cover, and if you were at all implying that I was the artist you wanted to have done, do it. And I'm not saying you are. I'm not asking you to tell me that. I'm just saying you can have whatever you want on it. Truth be told, if you brought me an X-Men sketch cover and told me you wanted like Bluey on it, I'd say, all right, weird request, but I'll do it. Like, I'm not going to say no. Because at that point, it's what the commissioner wants. I have only a few like absolute no-nos. No child or animal abuse of any kind, essay or otherwise. I'm sure there's some other things on the list, but those would be like the two main things that I would just say absolutely not to. You know. I know you're not going to ask me for that for Dwayne. I'm sorry that I brought that up in that conversation because you were not the person that would even be asking that. That wasn't implied in any way. I don't want to make it sound like that. Please, no one think that about Dwayne. Dwayne actually got some pretty awesome stuff from me. He was, in fact, and remains still, but he was my first commissioner of. Why did I draw a blank? Young Frankenstein stuff. Wow. Actually, it's funny. I saw a vendor at By Geekdom Con who had a Young Frankenstein poster, and just because I almost bought it. I don't do a lot of shopping at show. Well, I do for usually gifts for other people, and occasionally I'll buy stuff for myself. But you got it. It just arrived today. You are thinking of a few things, either a traditional heavy metal character or maybe one of your original characters. You know, it's funny you mention that. And I know this is like, just teasing you guys unfairly about stuff. But if Kevin Eastman was still running the magazine and I was able to pitch to him, and if I can pitch to the guys that are at the magazine now, I would totally love to do like an occasional, or not even occasional, I would totally love to do just like a separate set of Chadiana short stories for Heavy Metal Magazine. I'm not so sure Gentleman Cthulhu would be the right character for the magazine, but certainly Chadiana would. So, yeah. I feel like I don't know what is happening here. It's looking nice, but I have no idea what I'm doing. This is what happens when I talk and get lost in a piece at the same time. So, Dwayne, you're here too. Yeah, I meant to give you guys an update today on Patreon, but it just, if you were here for that whole discussion, then you heard that, yeah, it just was like way too long. I was like, not that you guys, sometimes I feel like I could just give you less and stretch it over a longer period of time. And sometimes I just feel like, though perhaps interesting, I don't know, some of the stuff that I write on Patreon might get a little, I don't want to say redundant, but just kind of like pedantic. It's like, just kind of like emptying thoughts on the paper and not getting to the point, really. It becomes very blog-like that way, which I don't hate, but I stopped blogging just because I felt like, I wanted to get more done with my actual creative work, and sometimes blogging, though, personally, it can be very, don't know if rewarding is the word. What did we figure out, Cirilla? Was the orange dead? Yes. Why is it over here? It has to go in the junk pile. I think, for what it's worth, I think there was one convention. Welcome back, Cirilla. I think there was one convention where I accidentally left them outside. But I also feel like I lent them to a friend at a show one time and they didn't properly cap some of them too. So it could have been a combination of two things. But yeah, it just totally, between the two, just wrecked these things. It just destroyed some of these pieces. These, not pieces, these. What's the word I'm looking for, Cirilla? Come on, help me out here. Pens, markers, markers. Anyway, yeah. I'll edit it down and then I'll give you guys an update. But essentially, it's just to talk about getting some things in order so that, I don't know, I can get some of the back work done so that I can ease up the pressure and get some of the new stuff done I want. But everything's so time consuming. Sorella, I love you, but lady, you are messing up the flow right now. Not one sentinel or whatever they're fighting on screen. Just Cyclops, Jean, and Wolverine. Or I guess, really, I messed that up because really it would be Wolverine, Cyclops, and Phoenix, or Jean, Scott, and Logan. You really wouldn't. Right, Cirilla? Wouldn't you kind of just refer either to first names or superhero names, not really mix it like that? Unless you're implying one of them wasn't part of the team or in civilian clothes. Wow. Just rambling on. That's what I do best. Okay. I know it looks like I'm done here, but I don't know. The thing is, I really don't want these sketch covers to be so expensive that people can't purchase them, but somehow I think that this X-Men sketch cover might wind up being the most expensive one I do because I have I think I've been working on this the entire stream this time, and on the 4-hour stream on Whatnot last week, I believe at least half of that, so 2 hours, was spent on it, which puts this at 4 hours work already. What does that mean? It means it's not going to be cheap. But it's got 3 characters on it. So I guess, I want them to at least be representative of what people can get from me and priced by what people can get from me. This just might be one of those outliers. I hope somebody will sooner or later find it worth the cost, price, whatever. Sometimes the stuff that's expensive takes longer to move, but every once in a while, a collector can surprise you. Indeed. Okay. I don't know. I got a pink or something light in these colored pencils here. I'm just dropping them everywhere. Well, Dwayne, for what it's worth, going back to your request there, because it just popped into my head, or your potential request. The uncertain idea of you, because I don't like counting anything as fact. the uncertain idea of you possibly maybe getting a sketch cover from me on a heavy metal cover. Could always do it as one of my characters against a traditionally heavy metal character, or with, or whatever. I understand that that's two characters and not asking you to put yourself out. I'm just saying it's an idea. It's a thought, bringing two different worlds together. That's been a crazy thing too, on a side note. Besides the fact that I gotta get those Chadiana issues out, it almost feels hilarious that I say that sometimes. Not because I don't mean it, but I just feel like sometimes I worry too much about what other people are thinking about it. But anyway, and the fact that I haven't had one out in a while. But anyway, I keep getting people that want to do crossovers and then they don't follow through. And in fact, I've built stuff into Chadiana's world where a crossover could be canon, or canon enough. Like it just doesn't have to be this like alternate universe thing, although it kind of is. But well, if anyone ever happens, you guys will understand what I mean then, because you'll get to see it in action. But there are lore and items around what actually can cause a crossover between Chadiana and someone from another comic world. Anyway. Whew. I feel like I have a uncommon amount of energy for this tonight. And I say that because driving back and forth to just past Philly this weekend, and having done back and forth to Philly last weekend because I was trying to see if longer drives were more cost effective. Longer drives within reason were more cost effective than getting a hotel. Spoiler alert, they're not. Maybe that was the wrong way to say it. Spoiler alert, no. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Spoiler, they're not. I don't know. Anyway, no, they're definitely not more cost effective. Time's a factor too. And they might be a little bit less expensive, but certainly not worth giving up the time for like maybe $100 difference. But anyway, where was I going? Yeah, I would think I was exhausted at this point to be jabbering on and on and on about little things and drawing to the point where I got that all colored so much. Somehow, though, I got a lot of energy right now. Wild. Wild to think that. I don't know, JM, how many different how many different mediums do you think you can use on a single piece of artwork? As many as I damn well want. I remember when I was in college, mixed media was the most appealing to me. Any artist that I saw using more than one medium in a piece of artwork, I was just like immediately drawn to that type of art. So I think it was just inevitable in that regard that I was going to wind up doing it. And at first it was very calculated, where I would be like, okay, I'm going to use these 2 or 3 mediums, you know, and I'm going to use this for this and this for that. But now it's just like, I will look at something and say, you know what? I think I could do that and this. I think I could layer this on top of that. I could do this, whatchamacallit, and that. And, you know, it just, I mean, look at that glow on Wolverine right now. Wasn't coming through with that marker or the colored pencil, but you throw a little acrylic marker on it and bam, it just pops all of a sudden. Not trying to brag. Anybody could do what I'm doing. I'm just, you know, I'm just saying I really like mixed media for those reasons, that you're not just stuck to, I think, you know, I think the appeal to me is that, yeah, while it's extremely skillful to be able to take, say, watercolor, because that's like one of my main mediums, and be able to make any texture and any effect and any vibrancy of color with it, because you're just like that skilled and that familiar with the medium. But there are just times where, like, I don't know. First of all, it's a time saver, not having to try to do something with a medium that another one could do faster. And I don't know, it just has such a nice look when you mix things together this way. In a way, I wish I could keep up the weekly thing, but man, it is just not the easiest in the world when you got so much going on with so many shows and such. But again, I'll still be going weekly through the 70th episode, and then I'll go down to monthly on these, just because I can't possibly keep up with Whatnot, this, and what is it? Whatnot, this, and all the conventions I'm doing. And I'm sure people would like more books from me. I'm sure that is a priority too. The thing is, though, live streams, when people show up, like tonight, and you know, every week has a different. Nobody's even asking me questions, and I'm talking this much. I am so sorry, guys. What do we got here? You got to go. Catch you later. Beautiful work as always. Thanks, Jim. Sorry we didn't get to actually talk because I'm just rambling on here, but I hope you have a good night. And I'll let you know when the Cthulhu coffin creature is in the mail, which again should be in the next day or two. Oh, thank God for Jim. He just totally broke my train of thought, and you guys won't have to hear me ramble for a second while I collect my thoughts. What was happening? I was saying about mixing media. Oh, the thing is, when a lot of people show up like tonight, and if I actually let them ask questions, and I'm not just going off on topics randomly like I am right now, I really enjoy coming to these live streams. I just know that, like, somewhere in my schedule, I have to give myself a little room to breathe. There are days where I definitely feel like I'm overdoing certain things, even though I feel like I'm underdoing others. So yeah, that's the only reason. I don't want anybody to think I don't like doing the live streams, because it's just like, conventions. Would I like to be doing less conventions? Yeah. Do I want to not do conventions? Not at all. I love conventions. I love doing the live streams. But, we all have a finite amount of time in the day and the week. And, I forget that sometimes. So every once in a while, life just kind of likes to remind me that, hey, you are not Superman, so to speak. You do have to sleep, eat, and do other things. So, yeah, that's where we're at. What is that background? I don't know. We're going to keep going, though. Might try to finish this before I get off. What are we at? An hour 30. Oh, usually I go till 10. Do I think I could finish it? I feel like I could do more than finish it, maybe, if I'm not. God, look at him. Cyclops he's got a lot going on there. Yay. All right. Phoenix, we gotta get that fire looking a little bit more fiery. I understand that Jean Grey's psychic powers, even as Phoenix, do not look like that. They have more of the Scott Summers optic blast look there. But I'm making some artistic. I'm taking artistic liberties here. Not completely. I mean, she does use fire sometimes. But you know what? I just didn't want more pink. Scott's got quite a bit going on there. We don't need Jean to be doing it too. So sorry if that's a little bit far away, everyone. I know that's not always. She's looking pretty good. I think at least she's looking pretty good. All the way back there, tiny like that. I think it takes a real talent to draw small things well. I think that is, and I'm not saying that I do. In fact, sometimes I feel like I don't do it quite as well as I would love to do it. I talk about Mike Mignola a lot, but there's an artist that I think does small very well and makes it very readable. I mean, he does other things really well, but that he's a standout as far as being able to do it. But yeah, I think that it's as much a part of an artist's style how their stuff looks small when they render things tiny and with less detail, as much as it is when they draw things up close with lots of detail. And that's, I think, why I'm not always good at stuff that's drawn smaller or further away, because as the great Steph Wilson likes to say to me, I just like putting so many lines all over my artwork. I just love texture and detail. So I would love to do things even more impressively when they're small, but it's so hard for me to just use a couple of lines. It's like a real problem. You would think it wouldn't be, but it is. I'm just... Gotta get that just white hot right in that middle part there, though. All right. What are we going to do? A little bit of black. A little bit of black. To darken some areas. Because I don't think the markers alone are going to achieve this, because we got some spots where, yeah, I can't get it darker because the markers just don't have the right color for it. Not darker the way I want it to be, at least. Including with the background, because I don't want it to be a deeper color. I just want some of that stuff to be darker. I'm going to have to put so much spray on this. Fixative, maybe a UV protective coating. Just because, I don't know, sketch covers do not keep the medium that you put on them very well. I've only come across a couple of sketch cover manufacturers that really put a better quality paper on where, you know, I could actually maybe even do watercolors on them because it's just not going to buckle that much. All those background lines are so abstract. What do they mean? Who knows? Who knows? But they look good. They look like something's happening below them. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. I really do. I feel like I drank well, I don't feel jittery, but energy-wise, I feel like I drank 6 cups of coffee. Ooh, no idea why. Because I can tell just by the way I'm drawing. I'm moving at a good, not overthinking it too much speed, which is odd considering tonight is the first time I sat at the art table all day today. So you would think I'd be slow and not ready for this. But here we are. I guess that's being a professional, but I don't even know. I think it's just having a good day because, you know what? Pros of all shapes, experiences, and sizes, we have our bad days too. And if there's any professional that tells you they're not having their bad days, they're lying. I just wouldn't believe it. Probably calling out about 1,000 people right now that I don't even know, even of. Gonna watch this and be like that. JM DeSantis thinks that I have bad days. I certainly don't. I don't know. I think you're fooling yourself if you say you don't. It's best to be realistic about it. But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of surprised. The factors going into today's live stream, I did not think I'd be coming with this much energy and confidence to just do what I just did today, which you may like it or hate it, but it came together pretty quick. I don't know. I'm just speaking abstractly, not even to the people that are watching right now, but just to like anyone who might stumble on this video at any point in time in the future. Oh, damn his legs. I think, Cirilla, do we have enough contrast in a lot of this? Oh, that hand probably could use a little bit. I called her and she didn't come over. She's probably fed up about the fact that I won't pet her right now. Or not. Not a lot, at least. Just really into what I'm doing. Maybe it's the factor that I didn't do it all day and I really wanted to draw today. So now it's like, ooh, I'm getting the chance to. It feels like fun. Sometimes, just as an aside, although this has not happened in many, many, many years now, if I took a couple of months off of drawing or writing, let's not get myself in trouble there because I have not been keeping up. Well, I started writing again. That's not true, but I did have a little bit of a break. Anyway, there were times in the past where if I took time off of writing or drawing, I would come back to it and all of a sudden have this huge leap in skill level. I felt like suddenly I could do things that I just did not feel I was doing well before. I feel like today was like a micro version of that. Maybe. I don't know. Guys in the chat should just tell me to shut up today. Right, Cirilla? You probably want me to. No, I don't know. I just... Yeah, I feel like I haven't stopped talking this whole time. Anywho. Some areas that I could darken the darks still for even more contrast. But then God, there was a time I remember when I was really planning out where all my shadows were. Now I just kind of like sort of see them as the pieces coming together. But yeah, I used to really like lay out the exact shape of the shadows before I inked. And that wasn't that odd. No wonder why. I was thinking to myself that this particular marker felt smooth at times and not at other times. And it seems like it depends on the angle I have it at and which side, which is, they feel the same. So that makes it very hard, but one will either start putting black down and the other one will just do nothing. The problem is keeping it straight is very difficult for me because when I draw, I don't know if anybody ever picks it up, but I'm usually like twisting the pen as I go. It's an old pencil habit. It would help me keep my pencils with a point because I'd constantly be turning it with every couple lines. And that habit never died. Off to catch up on reading The Violence by Delia Dawson. Have a great night. You too, Rob. I still haven't read too much of the, what is that book? China Mieville, Perdido Street Station. Though I heard from the person that have recommended it over the weekend. Which happens now very much on occasion. But we'll see. She's apparently in the middle of a move, so maybe that's why. Anyway. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a black pen that is not going to give me the kind of trouble that the current marker is giving me. Right? Because there are some of these dark spots that I do, in fact, need to make a bit darker, which seems to be the one thing that does happen to me with markers. It's the only medium where I find myself compelled because I find it necessary to go over some of the black lines that I had put down before, because either they did not dry into the paper well enough before the alcoholic markers seemed to fade them, or, as is the case with sketch covers, they just don't hold that well. But it's hard for me to do color before the outlines now. I never used to do it that way when I was first starting to like watercolor my comic pages, especially. But now I feel like getting the black down lets me know the color range. Well, at least the contrast range, I should say. So it's hard for me to start coloring something when I don't see black as opposed to white on the paper, because I can't really see the full contrast. That's just me. Maybe it's not just me, but it is a quirk of mine. You know, Dwayne, on the off chance you're still here, I'd even draw a young Frankenstein piece on a not saying that you would do it. I understand sort of what you're going for with the heavy metal, but you know, I would draw a young Frankenstein piece on a heavy metal sketch cover if that's what you really wanted. But no, like I said, you know, if it's me, you could go with a combination of characters, and I can figure out a way to get a good price for you, because you're always getting pieces from me. What was I going to do here? That's a rhetorical question for me. No, it's not really rhetorical, but it's one that I should know the answer to. I'm not asking somebody else to answer it. Not really, at least. I swear. I should just start a show. Like, I should just keep the live stream going weekly. Stop doing shows and just, you know, stop doing like live events and just call it like the madness of JM DeSantis, and just do up this whole thing like I'm in some basement crypt or something, and I just like pulling myself out of some dark hole back here and just ramble on while I draw, which is pretty much what I do now, other than the background, but just make it a whole shtick, you know. I wonder how many viewers I'd get then. I'm totally joking. I mean it. I mean it in the sense I wonder how appealing that would be to an audience to just watch a man lose his mind while he does artwork, and to be like, consciously aware of it. Because anytime you see an artist at a show, they are losing their minds in their art. You just nobody's really acknowledging it, including the artists. So what if I just leaned in with a whole show about it? Oh, the fascinating things that happen when I'm talkative on my live streams. The wild shit that comes out of my mouth. But I hope it's entertaining at least. I think I'm about done with this. I don't feel like I can possibly add color or lines to any other piece of this. I mean, I probably could. That's unfair to say, but I feel like I'd almost be doing another painting on top of this one at this point if I was to start adding more. It would no longer be what you see here, but a new painting emerging from under the old one. Oh my God, wouldn't that be an idea for a show? Not just doing the crazy artist thing, but then on top of that, you just have one canvas, and every show you just add to the canvas. And if you finish one painting, you just start doing another painting right over the top of that one. And it just evolves, one single piece of art that just turns into multiple pieces of artwork over time. Wild the stuff I'll come up with. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done that or thought of it. And if they haven't, you're welcome. Because I doubt I'm going to have time to do something like that. But it's good in theory. I hope I inspire some future YouTuber to do that. Or whatever platform this kind of content winds up with on in the future, And hope to see them do it one day. I got too much of my own crazy shit to do. I feel like, and rightfully so, that if there's that much pink on Wolverine, and there's that much pink on Cyclops, there should be more pink. Look at that. It's just that line disappeared. That's how these markers like to behave on me. I feel like there should be more pink on the background. I'm going to have to go in and fix some of that stuff. At least where the beam is, I just feel like it only makes sense that would be affecting the color or colors in the background more. Oh, all those poor lines. All those poor lines disappearing as they did. Where's my purple now? I think it was this one. I think it was this one. And if it wasn't, it's close enough. Right? fuckers are really unforgiving with each other. Trying to get in there with a little bit of this in the background too. Doesn't even have to be even, just a hint of it. Yeah, and see, to me that looks, whatever that abstract background is, it just looks a little bit more like it's catching those, the light from that beam. And we're at 10 o'clock. Is it done? Maybe. Maybe it is. Let's just get that glare off a little bit. No. What do you guys think? I kind of like it, I think. Maybe I should outline that X-Men a little bit. Maybe I'll leave it alone. I don't know. But I think it looks pretty good. I also think I need to put a tiny bit of marigold right in there because I don't like that white spot, at least where it is in that particular area. Yeah, I would say that's it. I probably shouldn't put the signature there. Maybe over there. Right? Somewhere. Usually I bury it in the background a little bit more, but you know what? Today we are not doing that. We're going to let it stand out a little bit more. Thanks, Dwayne. Wait, what do we got here? You're off to bed. Here we are at 10:03. Okay, so you were thinking of Chadiana and Tarna, another strike. Yeah, they would work good. Or with a restrained Captain Stern. Why can't I think of who Captain Stern is? Don't look it up right now. Tarna, I remember. We're going to look it up right now. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Wow. I didn't remember his name. No, exactly, though, who you're talking about. Yes. Okay. It could all work. For sure. We could do something like that. Maybe you'll own. I mean, like, God, I really hope I can make it happen. Maybe you'll own the first Chadiana heavy metal cover before she even appears in heavy metal. I really wanted to pitch it, or her, back when I was first putting the comic out, but heavy metal wasn't even showing up to conventions at the time because it was starting to go the way of the dodo. You know, like this new group that brought it back. I mean, obviously they acquired the rights to it, but it had closed its doors and now it's brought back. So we'll see. You know, I don't really have any connections over there, so I'm going to have to work on that. But, you know, like, that's a weird thing about me. Like, I will pursue trying to get at heavy metal. I did pursue for a long time, and I wouldn't be against still pursuing trying to get in at, like, Dark Horse. Marvel, I mean, if they approach me, but there's just certain things I don't go chasing. Anyway, and then after that, you were saying, looks good to you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I actually really like how it turned out. And for once, I feel like the setup of the lighting and my camera is actually pretty well capturing what those colors look like. Usually I have a little bit of a problem. I would say that brown is not quite as dull. But and same thing with the green. It's just a little bit more vibrant. The orange, definitely. Okay, it's not perfect. I'm noticing some flaws as we go, but it's pretty close. Usually it's not that close of a 1-to-1. Anyway, everyone, I think I've burnt myself out. No, I haven't, but I'm definitely done with this piece and I'm not going to start working on the next one. And it is 10 o'clock. I am hoping I will still be able to do the weekly thing on both platforms through episode 70. And then, like I said, I'll probably just go to once a month just to get some of my mental sanity back. Of course, the live streams won't be this fun because I won't just be like a babbling nightmare of insanity. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I could use another night of the week back for my time, But certainly I'll put that out when I throw up the next video. I would like to plan them out more in advance. Like maybe tomorrow I could actually schedule the next one for next week, and then you'll know. Maybe I'll post about it though. That would be very effective. I should. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel just in case it's not on Facebook Live, although most of you were on YouTube tonight, at least the ones watching for the majority of the show. I was just thinking about what I'm going to do for that Inspector Kemp piece still. I had some ideas. All of them I've sketched out in advance. I just haven't gotten a chance to sketch it yet, but I'm not going to leave you hanging on it, Dwayne. Don't worry about that. I have some ideas for it. Anywho, I'll be back next week. Maybe both on Facebook and YouTube, but certainly on YouTube. So everyone have a good night and a good weekend. If you are going to be in the... Oh my God, I can't even remember where it is. Look up New Jersey Ink Fest. I know that it's in northern West Jersey. I just can't think of where. My apologies, guys. Look up New Jersey Ink Fest if you're in the area or you're going to that show. I will be there this week. I will be there this weekend, and I'm doing Steampunk Alchemy in New Jersey the following weekend. And then Sci-Fi Valley and Heroes. I'll see you at Sci-Fi Valley, Dwayne. I'll see other people maybe on the road. Anyway, maybe I am finally getting tired. You all have a great night, great weekend. Hope you all had a good Memorial Day if you're here in the States. And I think that about does it. I think that's it. I like that cover. I'm happy with it for now. So I'll probably spray it and put it in a drawer and not look at it till Heroes so that I don't start to hate my own artwork, which is what happens with us creatives. We just can't help ourselves. Although, sometimes I stay attached to things. And sometimes enough time has gone by where it just doesn't matter anymore. I still like it, I just kind of come full circle after enough time has passed. But right now I'm happy. So I can say I probably will remain happy with it. Anyway, yeah, that's about does it. Didn't think I ran or something. Well, you all have a great night. Again, repeating myself. Have a good weekend. Had a good weekend, all of it. Maybe I'll see you at New Jersey Ink Fest. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Take care, everyone. And maybe I'll still see you on Facebook next week.